Next thing we have is stem cells. What do you guys remember about stem cells? We talked about it in first chapter.
Stem cells can become any.
Teresa, I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that, please?
Is it not being used for cloning? Like, for example, if you want to like change a particular gender to another, maybe from a man to a lady, like transgenders or something.
So there is stem cell research going on in different fields to develop different types of cells. Yes. So Nancy in the chat box said that stem cells can be used to develop different types of cells. So animal development relies on stem cells. Stem cells are very, very, very special. And the reason for that is because they can become any cell in your body. They are unspecialized. That means you have your, and these are embryonic stem cells I'm talking about. There are two types. I'm talking about the embryonic stem cells. So you have your embryonic stem cells. They're unspecialized. They have the ability to become anything in your body. It can become your muscle. It can become your blood. It can become your neurons. So they're unspecialized. They retain the ability to differentiate into different type of cells. There's a word I need you to remember, and that's totipotent. Toti means entire. That means these embryonic stem cells can become anything, entire, everything. So the stem cells come from very early embryos. These are the embryonic, come from embryos. They can give rise to all cell types in the body. Totipotent. Embryonic stem cells are totipotent. Then you have adult stem cells. They are pluripotent. Adult stem cells are pluripotent. Pluri, many. They cannot become everything, every cell type, but they can become many different cell types. So that's the word pluripotent. It's pluri is a Latin word for many. Toti is a Latin word for entire. So these stem cells come from adult tissues and can give rise to many, but not all cell types. Few that it can give rise to is your red blood cells and your white blood cells, adipose tissue, and your bone tissue. This is under the microscope. This is what your bone looks like if you zoom in on your, this is your femur, your leg bone. If you zoom in, it looks like tree trunks. If you have to take anatomy, this is what they're gonna do. This is your adipose, your fat. And stem cells are found in your bone marrow. They're pluripotent. They can come many different kinds of cells. Also, I said that red blood cells don't have a nucleus. They don't replicate. I think they live for about 40 days, then they recycle in your liver. So these red blood cells are coming from your bone marrow. Then we have cloning. You have heard about cloning a lot now. Cloning is basically making another copy. So so you can say you have maybe you have a house plant. Plants are very easy to clone. That can grow just from a stem. You can break one stem, you can put it in water. After a few days, it's gonna have roots and it's gonna start growing leaves. So you just copied the plant. You replicated your plant. So cloning or asexual reproduction is common in nature among single cell organisms, bacteria, archaea, protista. I also showed you an example of sea anemone. Plants are very, very easy to clone in the laboratory. You can also do it at home. So they're very easy to clone. The definition of cloning, one individual becomes two. That would be the definition. First cloned animal was Dolly the sheep. So I have a photo I'm going to show you for this, but I'm just gonna kind of tell you what they did. The nucleus from adult sheep cell was used to create Dolly. They took a cell from an adult sheep cell, and from that cell they removed the nucleus, and then they took an egg from the donor, and then they removed the nucleus from the egg, but they took that nucleus and then they inserted it in the donor's egg cell. And then, so a diploid nucleus from adult donor cell is used to replace the haploid nucleus in the egg. Therefore, there's no fertilization needed. Hopefully, because you guys did mitosis and meiosis, you know what diploid and haploid means now. So egg is haploid, and then the sperm fertilizes the egg. Then you have diploid. But in this case, they just removed the haploid nucleus completely from the egg, and they took a diploid nucleus from adult donor, and they put it in the egg. Then they took the egg and they put it in a surrogate mother animal. Then it just grows normally, like it would go through mitosis and development happens. And when the new animal is born, it's a clone of the adult donor animal. So people who understand a little bit better with pictures, here's the photo. You have one sheep. You can remove one cell from the sheep, not the germ cells. Germ cells are the sex cells, not the eggs. Or the stem cells, just a normal cell. So other than the stem cell and the germ cell, you can remove any cell. You remove one cell, you remove the nucleus from that cell, and this nucleus is diploid. Then you remove the egg cell from another sheep, you remove the nucleus from the egg cell. You take this nucleus, you put it in this. Then you take the new egg with this nucleus, put it in the surrogate mother. And this lamb is born and it's a clone of sheep one. It's given the same color. It's a clone of the sheep because you took the nucleus from the sheep. So that's cloning. So human cloning could help infertile parents have children. It could be used to harvest embryonic stem cells. So they are doing a lot of research on the stem cells. Maybe you guys already know this, but your neurons, they cannot be replaced. If there is a damage to a neuron, it's not gonna repair itself. It's not gonna go back. So they're doing a lot of research on the stem cells. They're trying to see if they're maybe able to get neurons or the nerve cells. If they are able to do that, they will be able to repair a lot of neurogenic diseases or disorders. But there are many ethical issues that surround cloning of our own species. One of them is the cost. It's very, very expensive. Not everybody can afford it. And another one is choose neurons. So your brain, it takes glucose as the source, only glucose. If you stop eating, if you are dieting and you stop taking carbs in your diet, it's not good. So you cannot go on a zero carb diet. It's really bad for your brain. So it takes glucose. So it surrounds many ethical issues. I said one is cost. So only rich people can afford it. Now, things that they can do with human cloning, they can, scan the embryo. They can see if there is a disease that might be in this nucleus. Then they can try to remove the sequence for the disease, or they can pick and choose. They can pick and choose the genes. Oh, I want my child to have blue eyes. I want her to have maybe different color of hair than their own parents. They can insert the genes. So that people, they can start going for perfection. In your book, one it talks about is appearance. Maybe they start picking and choosing the genes that they want. So that's another ethical issue. Another one is because, so actually I'm gonna hold on to that one. I'm gonna tell you that after I go over one more topic here. So there are a lot of ethical issues